What's up, guys? Welcome back to Country Bunkers Trains. Hope you're doing good, having a good week. We've hopefully got a pretty good one lined up for today. As you can see, we got a brand new engine to check out. Pretty cool. Always a good day when you get a new engine here to the layout. This thing showed up earlier today while the missus and I were out and about, and I'm finally just now getting around to getting it out of the box and checking it out. Figured I'd bring you guys along for the ride and you can check it out with me. I'm sure you know or can tell what this is by the title of the video here, but this is going to be something a little bit different than what we normally go for. I'm pretty heavy into the steam engines as well as into the transition era diesels, but like I say, this is something a little bit different, a little bit more unique, and I think it's going to stand out quite a bit here on the layouts in the train room. A pretty cool piece. This, of course, is the brand new Lionel Legacy DD35 with the Santa Fe road name. It is a fantasy paint scheme, and this is another thing I don't normally go for. I'm not usually huge into the fantasy paint schemes, but this one looks so proper. It was very fitting to this engine, and I had to jump on it. I thought it was pretty cool. On top of being a unique and somewhat different piece here to the train room, this was actually kind of a surprise purchase to me as well. This engine was advertised in last year's Volume 2 catalog, and at the time when the catalog came out, it did catch my eye for a moment. But it didn't catch it enough to warrant me purchasing it. I did think it was a cool engine, but I passed it up. Fast forward to a couple months ago, for whatever reason I was going through catalogs, looking around online, and this one caught my eye again, and I said, I really want to pick one of these up. So, wouldn't you know it, I went ahead and I didn't exactly pre-order it, but I did pre-order it a couple months ago. Luckily I was able to. The engine got made, and here, obviously, it is. I do think there was another model offered in the catalog, which we'll look over in a minute, that I do not think was made, but we'll talk about that here in a moment. What do you guys say we go ahead and get this thing out of the box? Just like the last couple engine videos we've done, I'm not going to force you guys to watch me unbox this thing, but for those of you that really are interested, here's a quick look at the box, if you'd like. Here's the tag on the end, pretty neat. And here's a look inside the box. Check that thing out. How cool. Inside the box, of course, we get our instruction manual. We also get a spare set of traction tires, what looks like some coupler pieces. Not dummy couplers or anything like that. I got to look into the instructions to figure out what those are. And we also get a pipette here for the smoke fluid. Pretty neat. But yeah, check this thing out, guys. She is beautiful. This might be a somewhat different engine here to the train room, but this definitely checks off one of my usual go-tos, and that being this is a big, monstrous engine. This thing is absolutely massive. I love it. Let me go ahead and get it out of the styrofoam. Got her out of the box, looking pretty good. Don't see any shipping damage or anything like that. Always a plus. Hopefully she runs as good as she looks. Not talking any smack by any means, but you guys know how it goes with me and my Lionel stuff. I always got to keep my fingers crossed. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Like I say, this is one beautiful engine and an absolute monster. To give you guys an idea just how big this engine is, I've got it parked here next to the big boy. Now, of course, nothing's going to overtake the big boy, but look how big this one single diesel engine is. Now, no, it's not literally one diesel engine. It's two engines welded together into one. But just check out the size of this thing. It's a beast. I love it. As mentioned earlier, this fantasy paint scheme, Santa Fe DD35, was offered in the 2021 Volume 2 Lionel catalog. It was delivered and became available here at the end of July 2022. This engine comes packed with all of the great modern-day legacy command control features that we've become accustomed to. Things such as dual motors, fan-driven smoke, crew talk, electro couplers, great sounds. Like I say, all the great stuff that we've become accustomed to from Lionel. This particular engine, in its own right, measures 22 inches long, comes with two operating fan-driven smoke units, as well as a dual speaker sound system, something I'm really looking forward to. The minimum recommended curve for this engine is kind of out there. Lionel advertises an 0.42 minimum recommended curve for the engine by itself. However, when pulling a consist of cars behind it, They recommend 054, so in reality, the minimum curve for this engine is 054 when wanting to really run a train. Luckily, we're in good luck here on my layouts, as that's my minimum curve here that I have. Getting back to the catalog for a quick moment, as you can see, Lionel did offer a prototypical Union Pacific version, as well as a fantasy American flag paint scheme UP version. Pretty cool. Another fantasy version they did was the Alaska, and I don't think Lionel actually ended up making this train. Correct me if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments below, but when I was going to order the Santa Fe, for the hell of it, I went and looked at the Alaska, and that one looked like it was unavailable. I don't think this one got enough pre-orders and got built. Let me know in the comments below if you guys know different. This engine is a return item to Lionel. They originally offered this engine all the way back in 2011, and another legacy version. They did a prototypical version along with several other fantasy versions to go along with it. Pretty cool. On top of being a really big, beautiful model in its own right, like I say, this thing is spectacular looking. But another thing that really caught my eye with this particular engine was the price point. Now, I'm not going to sit here and try and tell you that this was an absolute steal of a purchase or an absolute bargain. It is still a Lionel legacy engine. It does come with a pretty hefty price tag. I'm just going to go off of MSRP pricing. But when you compare this engine with other offerings in this catalog, I do think this was somewhat of a good bargain or a good buy, at least in my own opinion, and I'll show you why. Again, I'm just going to go off of MSRP pricing. If you pre-ordered or go through a reputable dealer, of course you're going to get a few bucks knocked off. But to keep it fair and equal, we're just going to use the catalog. So these engines came with an MSRP of $699.99. Now really, there's only one other engine in this catalog I can compare it to, and that was the SD70 Max. These engines came in with an MSRP of $649.99. Not that big of a difference, but what are you getting for that extra 50 bucks? Well, on this engine, as I mentioned earlier, you're getting dual smoke units. Pretty cool. I think that's pretty awesome in its own right. And on top of that, you're getting a dual speaker system in this engine. Again, I've yet to fire it up and hear it. I'm hoping it's going to sound pretty cool. And then on top of all of that, you're getting a bigger engine. Much heftier size. Looks can be your own taste. I'll let you determine that. I do think this is a pretty unique looking engine, and I like it a little bit better than those SD70 Max, but hey, that's just me. I do want to take a moment and give a big shout out to my drug dealer. I mean my friend, my buddy Tony, over at Roundhouse South Trains. Now guys, that's Roundhouse with an R. Sorry, I had to. But seriously, Tony always takes really good care of me. Tony made sure to get this order in and made sure I got this engine. Even though I was way past the pre-order cutoff date, I still got it, and he made sure I got it. I really appreciate it. On top of all of that, when the engine came in, he made sure to have it drop shipped directly from the vendor to me here at the house, saving me a trip from going down to Daytona and picking it up. Well, wait a minute, now that I think about it, maybe that's saying something. But seriously, if you're ever in the area of Daytona or Port Orange, Florida, make sure you check them out. Like I say, Roundhouse South Trains. And hell, even if you're not in the area, check him out online at roundhousesouth.com. I'll put a link to his website in the description below. But once again, Tony, I really do appreciate it. Thank you, my man. But anyways, guys, enough yammering. We started out in somewhat daylight, and now it's pitch black outside, and I've yet to start this thing up and hear it. I'm going to go ahead and get it ready, load it up in the remote, get it loaded up with some smoke fluid, and we'll take it for a few laps around the layout. What do you say? Alrighty, I got her all loaded up, and we're good to go. Now, of course, I do not have Legacy at the moment, so we're using the old school TMCC, but it's still a very fun experience. I did go ahead and take her for a few test laps around the layout. What an impressive engine. This thing is awesome. I think you guys are really going to enjoy this one. Couple items to note. The sound system on this engine is very impressive with the 2-speaker setup. This thing is extremely loud. It'll blow you out of the room. I've got it turned down right now. I don't want to mess up the audio on the video. Hopefully we don't have any issues there. Another thing I wanted to point out, the headlight on this thing is extremely bright. This thing coming around the corner here in front of the door is blinding me every time it comes around. But pretty cool nonetheless. But let's go ahead and fire her up. We'll listen to some of the crew talk.
Dispatcher, error is made. Brake test complete. Are we clear to pull? Over. Hold your position. Out.
I'd like to pick up a roll from the main track, but I need to occupy your inside rails to put the high rail truck on there and do the walk on the outside.
Yeah, go for it, man. 2635, and he won't be out of here for an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Okay, alrighty. Good call anyways, later on.
Okay.
Thank you.
Finally, a highball. Let's get her rolling.
2635, and he won't be out of here for an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Okay, alrighty. Good call anyways, later on.
Okay.
Thank you.
As mentioned, this one does have the five different horns. Let's take a listen to those. Here's the factory set one. I will say this one's my favorite out of them. Let's listen to the others. Oh, that one's pretty good too. And the different bell chimes. I won't make you listen to all of them, but here's a sampling of them. Well, they're going pretty quick. What the hell? Pretty neat. Like I say, everything seems to be working. As you can see, we got smoke. Couplers are working. What do you say we get a consist hooked up to this thing and take it for a lap around the layout? Let's move her out.
I'm sorry, I did not get your passcode. Please try again.
Roger. We're done for the day. Out.
What do you guys think about it? I think it's pretty damn cool. It's one hell of an engine. A big mammoth engine at that. But yeah, I'm very pleased with it. Quite happy I purchased it. A very worthwhile purchase, in my opinion. To be honest, I do think it would look a little bit better over here on the second layout with a little bit longer stretches of track with how big it is. But I've been doing a lot of work over there and I'm not ready to show it off quite yet. So we'll have to save that for the future. We'll definitely be seeing a lot more of this engine in the future. I'm going to be running it quite a bit. Fingers crossed we have no issues. I hope you guys enjoyed this video on the brand new Lionel Sant Fe DD35. If you did, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It would be much appreciated. But anyways, guys, until next time, my name is Zach, and this is Country Bunkers Trains. Y'all take care. I'll see you the next go-round.